Hello world! In today's video I will test the 3DR side scan app I have registered. It's more an addition on the first 12 apps I had. I had to register, there is a certain time, but I am not sure if that time is actually for site processing or flight time of the app. So after now 1 week he will just say, okay, we will not fly anymore. I hope not. I am really impressed by this app. It is a wonderful app. It's extremely stable. It flies very well. It is maybe one of the best flight apps I've seen so far and I worked with. So I'm really happy with this and I really like to continue. Of course, there's a complete web interface behind it, also with regards to Pix4D and AutoCAD scanning, and of course I know the purpose of these kind of apps is to do lens survey but also calculate. That's not what I do. I just make 3D models and I do some general mapping. So I really hope that the app will continue to work after my trial period is over, because, and don't be scared, the price of using this whole thing is $900 per month. I'm not joking, $900 per month. You get a lot, but for me that's just, it's not a tool. I don't use it for a tool, I just use it for mapping, which I can do myself. Plus all the software I have used for my 3D rendering, which you will see in this video, is all my own software. It's all done locally on my own computer. So I don't need that services, but the flight app itself is really good. I have found some mistakes. One of the mistakes is that when I did a survey mapping, that is just a normal grid mapping in 2D, there were some issues with alignment. I've seen that, you will see that in the video as well. Secondly, the railroad track behind my house is a complete flat straight line, and you can see in the mapping it is a little bit curved. I've never seen that before in any of my other apps. So that is actually a little bit weird. And also, but there might be an excuse for that, when I did the survey mapping, I noticed that the quality was not as good as I had with my Maps Made Easy or even with my Autopilot app. I don't know why. The only reason I can think of is that when I did the Maps Made Easy and the Hangar Autopilot grid, I was flying at 45 meters high. This is done at 60 meters high, and that I did that just because I didn't want to have a huge amount of photos just for a demonstration. Even at 60 meters and 1.29 centimeters per pixel, I had 130 or 129 photos. So that is the reason. That also might be the excuse, because when I did the Maps Made Easy, I was going less than 1 centimeter per pixel, and of course you have a lot better quality. All the flights I have done are done by the Mavic Pro, except for the lens survey, which was done by the Inspire 2. That's why I can compare it, because all my previous mappings was always done with the Inspire 2, with the same lens and the same settings. So that's a little bit weird. I have done some really great mappings in 3D, especially, and now I have to see how they call all those things. There were basically 6 flight maps. So the first one is the panorama. That worked fine. I processed it as I always do. Result will be in this video. Then something I have never used before, it is called the vertical, and that was actually one of the flight modes I was missing in Hangar Autopilot. And the reason is that basically see it as you have a building and you fly the building on a vertical image up. Now this goes a little bit further where you do a vertical line in an angle, and even although I did a vertical flight with regards to my house, I get a really nice 3D map. The second one is inspection. Inspection is basically a free flying mode. The third one was the perimeter scan. That is basically you have a building, although I still did my house. You have a building and it can fly a couple of, let's say, orbits, but it's not orbits because that is depending on your perimeter scan. And you can make a 3D image. I did that, worked very good. I did a crosshead scan, a very small one, but the quality was very good. That's also very nice. And of course I did the area survey, which I already explained to you, which was not as good as I hoped. But that was really was into zoom. So, but 4K image zoomed in with 400% still should be 1080p, which I do at this video. So if my app is still working after next week, I am a couple of days off because I have to do a couple of things in other countries. When I come back and that scan is still working, the side scan, there is very close to here is a grain silo, which is of course straight up about 60 or 70 meters high, and I will ask permission to do a scan over there of the building. So I will do that properly and we'll hope they comply with that. So I think that's about all I had to say so far. The rest I will do with subtitles. I will give some explanations, and one thing I have to still explain. I have used my web open drone maps for the mapping, and the 3D mapping is remarkable. I am so happy with that program. All the other programs of all the other maps are made with Autopano Giga. I am thinking they are stopped. And I use MeshLab for displaying the 3D images, which is also a remarkable program. So, without further ado, I think it's time that we're gonna start and see what I have done over the last couple of days. And don't forget at the end to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'll see you later. Bye. Good morning. Well, that was the end of the 3DR SideScan app. It was a very nice week for testing. I really enjoyed the app. It is 6 flight modes, where one is not so much interesting, but let's start with that one. That was the inspection. So basically it's like a free flight app where you just say, okay, take every 2 seconds a photograph. Autopilot will do the same thing for you, and more apps will do the same thing. So that one was not that interested for me, and we don't discuss it any further in this episode. What is actually really important to understand is that the 3DR flight app only works on an iPad. It's not compatible with the iPhone. You really need your full screen to do the programming and to make the mapping and the surveying. So it only works on iPad. So don't try it with your iPhone. It is just not available. Okay, the flight mode that interests me the most, that was the perimeter scan. So basically what you do is you have a building, you go to your set height, you do a flight around the top, you do a flight, say 10 minutes lower, 10 minutes lower, 10 minutes lower, 10 minutes lower. This way you get a really detailed 3D area and 3D mapping. Really good. I really enjoyed that one. The vertical scan is basically half of that. Basically you fly from here to here to here, back like this. You can make it a round scan, but it's not intended. It's just if you have a building in between other buildings, you can just snap this building. Quality is really good. The crosshatch scan is just like a crosshatch scan. The area survey scan is an area survey scan. So 2.5D and 3D images. It works fine, not over better than other images. So for me, the most important thing was the perimeter scan and the vertical scan. One of the things I liked also was the panorama. It works very well with the Inspire 2, better than the Hanger 360, but of course this is not really intended for that app. The Hanger is more intended for private use, so the Spark and the Mavic works fine, Inspire doesn't not. I have tried it many times with Hanger Autopilot. That works better, especially if you take a little bit more overlap in your images. It is really clear. So for that one, but I must say in SideScan it worked fine, no problems with that. Are there any drawbacks? Yes, there are 2 drawbacks. One I already discussed before is the fact that the stitching was not perfect. I think it was actually a little bit disappointing compared to other apps I have. If I do it in Maps Made Easy, the side scans are really good. Even if I do a mapping in Autopilot, it is really good. I have made previous videos, I will put links in the description below, where you can see that. In this one it was not. I don't know why. I have changed some settings. It just didn't go as well as I planned. Another issue is that the app sometimes stalls, and that means that you really have to go out of the app. You have sometimes even to restart your iPad, and then in program it will do that. It will continue where it starts, but it just stalls. Also uploading your flight plan to your drone sometimes doesn't work, but for the rest it was okay, and it works. One of the things I really like about this app is the flight GUI on your iPad. It really shows you what you're doing. It shows where you are. It shows up and downs. It shows which pictures it takes. It counts for you. So it's really good. So will I use it? Oh yes, I will use it a lot. I really enjoy it. It's especially if you make 3D scans like what I do of bigger objects like buildings and even complete factories. That is something I'm doing at the moment. It is an amazing scan. If you want to do just only mapping, 2D mapping, 2.5D mapping, then I think there are other apps that do it better. But for now, this one works fine. I will use it, especially the perimeter scan and the vertical scan. Maybe if I need a high resolution panorama and I will use the Inspire, I might use this app as well. Although, as I said, I can do the same thing in Hanger Autopilot. Well, I think that sums it up. My trial period is over, but the app is still flying, luckily me. I have to say that the site scan program on the cloud is basically what you have to rent. That's not what I'm using, so, but it's a clever program, so I'm happy it's still working. And I'm continuing to use it, and of course you will see the results on my channel. Okay, that's about it. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like to have more tutorials, or even if you say, can you please elaborate a little bit more on specific apps or specific flight patterns. I'm happy to help and I'm happy to explain. So until next time, I'll see you. Bye.